Are you ready for some good news? All korbanos will be annulled with the coming of Moshiach, except for the Korban Toda. What? Well, I'll explain. As we close the broadcast series on Moses, I've chosen a piece of Levitical law because Moses was the great lawgiver. So stay with me. I promise this is going to be thrilling. The text is Hebrews chapter 13 at verse 15. Hebrews 13:15. Through him, then, let us continually offer up a sacrifice of praise to God, that is, the fruit of lips that acknowledge his name. So Leviticus chapters 1 through 7 describe 5 basic types of offerings in Israel. 1, the burnt offering, an animal burned at the altar as a substitutionary death. 2, the grain offering, unleavened loaves offered which the priest could eat. 3, peace offerings. And there were 3 kinds of peace offerings: the free will offering, the vow offering, and the thanksgiving offering. 4 were sin offerings, and that's a payment for sin. And 5, the trespass offering, payment in the case of monetary fraud. So some of the offerings, like the sin offering, were mandatory, but others were voluntary. And of these voluntary offerings, the most prevalent was the peace offering, and specifically the peace offering of the thanksgiving offering, which in Hebrew, transliterated, is the Korban Toda. The Korban Toda, the thanksgiving offering, was completely voluntary. You could offer it at any time. There was only one instance that made the Korban Toda mandatory: if you had been spared from a near-death situation. The quote with which I open the devotional is actually from the ancient Jewish writings known as the Midrash. It means literally, all offerings are annulled with the coming of the Christ except for the offering of thanksgiving. The writer of Hebrews explains all this in chapter 13, having declared that Jesus is the fulfillment of the sacrificial system. That's where he says, also through him, let us continually offer up the sacrifice of praise to God. Because Jesus is the sacrifice, we don't need to bring sacrificial offerings to God. It is finished. Everything is done except one thing: to thank him. The Messiah has come, and the Midrash forecast has come to pass. Of all the offerings, only the thank offering remains. Jesus paid it all, and all you have to do is thank him. And that's the gospel. Well, that's today's daily devotional, and I sure hope if you've missed it, you'll go get the whole radio broadcast on this fascinating subject of the thank offering. It's there for free at sharinglight.org.